Hi everyone! So today Spellbinders is releasing their new launches for July of 2025, including lots of Christmas in July. So I'm super happy today to show you guys, unbox this guy and try out, maybe a card or two for the Merry Moments. It's their limited edition card making kit. So I love this kind of thing because what happens is I'll show you it right now, and throughout the season, throughout, Christmas in July, and then also into the holiday season itself, I'll be dipping back in here because I just go back here to get paper and card bases, all that kind of stuff, or whatever it might be that's in here, I believe. Yeah, they do have card bases. I'll read that to you in just a moment. But this item was sent free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and the links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. So thank you for using those if you would like to. I do have them for the US and the UK, and it just helps support my channel and keep me going here, I will say that there are some bundles with some of the new die sets, the Christmas and July die sets. So a lot of times the bundles go first. So I usually link to this specific item, but then also to all the new releases for that month. So it'll say like all new July 2025 collection releases, and then a link there, and then for this specific thing that I'll be using right now. And I will say again, Merry Moments Holiday Kit says it has 13 A2 cards and envelopes, 12 5x7 cards and envelopes, 8 mil or 8 meters, I'm not sure, we'll check on that, adhesive tape, 40 foam squares, 18 pieces of cardstock, 40 sheets of 6-inch paper pad, 238 die-cut ephemera, 1 clear stamp set, 10 sticker sheets, 1 sequin pack, and 1 sheet of embellishments. The back is just as cute as the whole box. Look at that. Let it snow. How adorable is that? Love the packaging on this. I've had these for several years now. I keep them together, and they all look so pretty together because they're always like dark blues and reds and just pretty colors that they just all coordinate, right? All the kits from the past. So very cute with a little doggy. Oh my gosh. Let's open this up. I always try to do this carefully because I like to keep the sticker intact. Let's keep going. All right. There we go. A little inspo on the very front here. I will say whenever they have something like this, they're always doing their roundups, and of course Spellbinders has their videos and all those fun things. So definitely check it out just to get all that inspo, all that your creative juices going, as they say. Very cute. So some ideas here. Obviously you're involving dies and things like that you're getting from your stash to do some of these. Oh, look at this one. It looks like a little advent. So again, telling you kind of what's in there. And there you go. So it must be meters because, again, adhesive, this kind is not a sticky, like a foam type thing, but you have your double-sided tape, a couple sheets of the 3D foam adhesive. And again, I use that whole thing up. I use the little squares, but I also use what's left over, just cut it up and use it. Just use it all up. Your sequins, such a pretty, like, ballet pink, kind of peachy pink color almost. Very cute. It looks like there's a couple different sizes in there of the sequins, which I love. I like having different sizes, it looks more organic and fun. Your card bases with your envelopes, again, that linen kind of texture card base that Spellbinders always does. And your envelopes. Let's see. Let's look at this. And then we'll go into things that take a little more time to go through. Your stamp set. It looks like it's an acrylic stamp set, but let me check. In their old club kits that they used to do with the cards, they were acrylic stamps. So I just want to, yes, by the smell and feel, I can see that they are acrylic stamps. So you have, oh, what fun, happy holidays, sending, merry, and happy Christmas. Obviously, mix and match these things, some little icons, little background kind of things. Wishes, magic, cheer, season's greetings, the number 25, which I always love to have. Okay, so on this one, I saw the little wax seal, and I was like, ooh, are there wax seal embellishments in here? Because I didn't think they're going to have you make your own there, if they have that. I don't know. So here they are. Very cool. And they look like wax seals. I mean, let me see what material this is. I wonder if they're, they feel like plastic, but they have a very nice feel to them. So very cool. They did a really nice job of that. And look how perfect they are, right? So very cool. With Santa mail and cute little like sprigs and Merry Christmas. I mean, love. You can see all that warm wishes. And if you want to take your gold pen or whatever and still go over that, you can definitely do that, right? So we have those. Cute puffy stickers. These are like foam stickers, not jet puff like some of the stickers they do. These are more like foam. I don't know if you can see that. So together, love, Christmas time, joyful day, cheer. The cute little accent pieces here and there. And then your ornaments, merry and bright, joy, believe in magic, ho ho ho. Very cute. All these other fun, cute things that you can pop on there. And chipboard stickers. So this is, I think this is where they got for this one card here. Because I could see that they were thick and I couldn't tell if, you know, what that was going on. So that's what that is. So your chipboard stickers, Season of Wonder, sorry, Christmas Magic, Counting Down, Holiday Happiness. I love the nutcrackers, of course. Oh, these little frames, how cute are those? Lots of cute things that you pop out from there. Sticker sheets, I believe. Or, yeah. So, lots of stickers, and they're very paper feel to them. Let me see if this is paper or washi. Oh, it's washi. Yeah, you can kind of tell just the feel of it. And they felt kind of, I don't know, but they're washi. So that's really cool. So it has a kind of a different feel to it, right? These are clear stickers. Oh, hold on. I was holding a couple sheets. Maybe that's why I felt it. I was like, what is going on? So this is washi. These are also washi. All right. Very cute, lots of sentiments. These are clear stickers. So they're thin, but they're on a clear base, where these are what you're seeing here. Season's greetings, Merry Christmas. So lots of cute things, just here and there. Some words, little Santa, Noel, you know, all that stuff, clear sticker. And then these are the paper stickers. And because generally those are thicker, yeah. I didn't mean to pick at that. Has a thicker feel, and you can feel that as you're holding it here. I love all this. So cute. And then they turn, yeah, that's it. Is there one sheet or two sheets? There's two. There should be two of each. Okay. And there's the other one. How cute are these? They look like little washi tapes that are like ripped and stuff and borders. And look at this. This one has like cancellation on it. That is so cute. Like just such small detail. Very nice. Let's look at our papers and then we'll look at the die cuts. I just, you know, leaving these for last because they're a bunch of little things I'll have in my hand. I have to put away there. So 6-inch paper pad, 40 sheets, 20 designs, includes 6 foiled sheets. And I believe they do one at a time and then repeat. Yeah. So little cut aparts that are adorable. Love the colors on this. And I'm sorry if my lighting is kind of funky. Let me check on that. I don't know. It looks a little bit dark, but then a little too blue. Is that any better? I don't know. Cute candy canes. Again, with that dark background with like that little kind of gold, you know, fake gold kind of color. Maize kind of mustardy color. Foiled. Little stars kind of falling. That's so cute. And then all the bows. Oh my gosh, that is adorable. This one just, you know, Santa probably kind of a thing because it has a map, but it's in pink. How cute. It says Pole Boreal. Cute. And then, you know, your foil design there, your ugly sweater or Fair Isle design, super cute. Again, this one looks like gold just because of the color, but it's not gold foil or anything like that. It's little red dots. Cool star pattern. These are really, really lovely. Just a geometric pattern, you know, cute with the pink and everything. And this one has little words you can kind of see here and there. Very, very faint. Cute patterns, very classic. And this one, oh, this one almost looks like knitting, but it's little hearts. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Love it. With that dark background and all those pops of color. I love it. Look at the little nutcracker just kind of in there. Little swan. Cute red with the white dots. And there's like a little soft pattern in there too. All your little ornaments. Cuteness. So much detail. They're so small. Look at all the detail. I don't know if you can see. Sorry about my lighting. You have your plaids. And then green geometric, kind of like the one we saw earlier, but in green. Your stripes. I don't think I've skipped any pages. I hope not. And I love this. Kind of like that toll folk art. I don't know if those are different designs, but like different styles, but that's very cute. And then I guess that has the foiling on it too, so that's where the other foil is. Very, very pretty. And then it comes, of course, with cardstock. Ooh, lovely. Let me bring this out, guys. Sorry. I like to pop it back in here to keep the paper nice and perfect, but I don't think it's going to happen because this is very tight. Let me open this up. yeah, I had to pop that off. It was really on there, so there's quite a bit of paper here. So we have 2 sheets of white. Beautiful colors, and you know, each one of these has a name, and I'm sorry I don't have the names right now, and I should pull out my little swatch deck and I would have the names for you guys, but all these shades of pink going into that deeper red, and I don't know if this is making my camera be a little bit wonky, sorry guys. Gorgeous, gorgeous A2 size cardstock. This looks like a very, very light blue, and then a deeper blue, some different shades of green, which is always great. This kind of, again, gold mazy kind of colors, black. And then we have 2 sheets of gold. Oh, okay. And then 2 sheets of silver. But this is the kind that I love because it's double-sided. And this stuff, when you cut it, I'm telling you, it feels like metal. It feels like if it was a metal can that you cut, you know? Looks really awesome. The gold is kind of a yellow-greenish gold. I don't know if you can kind of see that. Hello. But yeah, so there you go. Love that stuff. And whenever I order that in Spellbinders, I always make sure that the listing says that it's on both sides, because they have some that's just, you know, gold on one side, you know, silver on the one side. But the double-sided one is the one that cuts in just a really interesting way, the way it feels, you know, the way it looks. Okay, so we have lots of ephemera. Again, I love these for like rosettes, tags, all those fun things, obviously, to make your cards. They're kind of falling out, but you can see all these different, there's usually 2 of each. All kinds of cute little things. They have like little crackers or treats. They look like Christmas crackers. Little stars. You know, you have the bigger nutcracker here. Trees. Gifts. Swags pieces or like little sprigs. You know, you have your stars. Gifts all over the place. Lots of flowers. Snowflakes. Trying to see some of these larger bits here. Again, your flowers, typical kind of things. Oh, look at this one. So cute, little group of ornaments. Super easy. Pop that on there. You know, some layers of paper, and it's going to look really cute with a little sentiment. You're good to go. Look at the little house. Wreaths. Bow that you can cut out these little pieces or pop them out so it's a little more delicate. Berries. All that kind of stuff, right? Very traditional Christmas they went with this year. And then this one here has sentiments and tags and all those kinds of things. So just a little different from like what's in this, right? The ephemera. So may all your wishes come true. You have like little postage pieces. I love that. Look at this one. So cute. Oh my gosh. Tags, you know, again, these are just kind of like your sentiments basically. Even though there's bigger tags and things like that. Merry Christmas. 'Tis the season. Happy holidays. Merry and bright. You know, pop that on there and you are done, right? Cute little background piece. Magical, joy, bright, peace. Like all these words, things that go back to like the paper pack exactly. Joy, little tags. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Look at the way this paired up. That looks cute already, right? Again, a little piece, a little star on there. You know, just all those ways you can use these things. Tags, tons of tags, lots of sentiments. I mean, I love this kind of thing because it just helps me finish all the cards. Lots of different, you know, even if I'm just making die cut cards or whatever, just to pop that on there. Look how cute. You can pop these little things out. Like a little film reel, or I guess it's more like, excuse me, my goodness. I guess it's more like postage that isn't torn, right? There you go. And lots of sentiments. So let me kind of clear the decks a little bit and gather my thoughts, and we'll make, you know, a card or two. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, you guys, before I move on to working with the card making kit, I want to show you these other pieces that belong to the collection, the Merry Moments collection, but of course you can use them however you like. Like I said, I have 4 or 5 new collections launching, so most of them, if not all of them, are Christmas related. We have some, you know, snowflakes. These remind me of the butterflies that Spellbinders does so well. They're so cute. And so again, just like an acetate base, and then another layer of acetate. These happen to have like glitter, and the one on top is kind of not thin, but well, they might be the same thickness. I'll say it's thinner than the one at the base, but they might be the same. Really nice. I love the little glitter. And, you know, all the butterflies I've used, they look perfect. They're great. So that's a little something. There is a Better Press. Unfortunately, I forgot the name of this one. Sorry, guys, because I just recalled it. And I'm like, oh, there's these other pieces to the collection. It's a really nice plate. It looks like it's just cross-stitch background. Very adorable. And the plate itself is just shy of 4.5. and by 5.5. Did I do that right? Let's see, 5.5. Yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit bigger than 4.25, basically. So basically A2 size, right? Your plate, this can go in the glimmer, but it is intended for the better press. And when I mention that, I always mention don't put your glimmer plates in the better press, okay? Better press can go in glimmer, but not the other way. Look at this beautiful Cameo 3D embossing folder. My goodness, this is just gorgeous. I would love for them to do a cameo with like the little ladies in the background. That'd be really nice. But again, their folders are oversized. They are 8.75 by 5.75. They will emboss an area that's about roughly 8.5 by 5.5. So your slim lines, your 5x7s, your A2s, do a whole piece and then cut it in half. Actually, you can even slimline it, but if you cut it in half this way, you have two for, two A2s all at once. But look how cute. All the little cameos in here, like little poinsettia, some little holly berries, a beautiful little flower with some little berries and twigs behind there. Just gorgeous. Lovely. And then again, the 3D embossing folder, of course, you're going to want to have a machine that can accommodate something like that. And then it's carved in, so there's highs and lows, and they are thicker, the folders, than just your standard embossing folder, okay? So amazing stuff. And then this die set, which is really, really cute. I love this kind of thing. Look at this bow. You can make your little bow. I think if you pair them together, you can imagine, see how it goes out and goes back in? If you have another one on this side, it'll kind of make a frame. So if you want to put 4 of these all around, it'll frame out your card. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of, I believe, what's intended. But you can also just use the bow, right? 1 bow, 2 bows, whatever you want to do. You have some flowers. You have, this is actually a little berry. I put it over here because I was trying to separate some things out. So again, holly berries, little cluster, you can put those guys on. Flower centers and things. Over here I have some flowers. I guess I should have been over there. Sprigs, lots of sprigs, leaves, individual leaves, holly leaves. This little sprig that holds these little kind of like berries or little bells. It looks like berries. And then an accent for that. Also, you have this beautiful little banner, and then you have the words that you can kind of emboss in there. Actually, these aren't embossed. These cut all the way through. So, merry and bright, and then a gift for you. This is not a stem. It's actually, I should put it over here, the little holder or hanger for these ornaments, which I love. So your little circular round ornament, should I say, and then this one that's more of like that pointy, like a light bulb kind of, well, but it's an ornament. And then the toppers for those guys. How cute and petite and just small and adorable are those? So again, as the season goes, I will be, I'll do a tutorial on these very soon, but I'll go back to these things, right, as we work. Today, I'm pretty much going to stick to what's in the kit. I might throw in one of these things, maybe a background, but I'll probably follow up with that. All right, well, let's get started. Okay, guys, I'm going to grab one of my A2s here, and let's do something fun with our paper background, and then we'll go from there. Ooh, actually, okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and put gold paper in the background just so the gold pops, but I'm not going to use this gold because this stuff is very fancy, and I want to use that for something else. So I'm going to just pull some gold paper from my, stash. No big deal. I want to use a few different pieces of this cardstock for this. So, it can just be anything. Maybe that one. Maybe this one. I'm thinking about 3 different pieces. Oh, this would be good too, but there's a lot of red. Green. Stripes. I'm trying to think exactly what I want to do. Maybe that candy cane one. Why not? Something a little bit more out there. It is bringing in the red and also this other piece. Okay, so I'm going to take this to my trimmer, and we are going to trim this down all together in a fun way and just mess with it, okay? And you can cut this as much as you want. I'm just going to do a little bit, but basically that's A2 size, so I want this to layer into after I cut some gold paper down. So let me think. I probably want this to end up being, it doesn't really matter, 3 7/8. Okay, I'm just coming up with these numbers right now because the matte layer I want before this is going to be 4 1/8. But I still want some space to kind of space out my pieces. It'll make sense in a minute. So 3 7/8 by That means I took off 3/8, so 5.5, so by 5 1/8. That way it's the same amount taken off. And then I'm just gonna cut into these guys all together. And just in whatever way, it doesn't matter, just do some. So there's that one piece. And I don't know that I was going to do a lot, so maybe just like from here to here. Just 3 chunks. If you want to cut it more, you can definitely cut it more, but basically you have that, and this guy. Like I said, if you want to cut into it some more, make it even more, maybe another one here. Should we do that? Should we do that? Okay, fine, one more cut. Like here. Okay, I'm going to cut down a piece of gold cardstock, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I have that cut down. And honestly, I just grabbed the first gold I saw, and it's more of a matte. This looks really cute with shiny gold because it just really pops. But I'm going to go with this guy. And I don't know why the orientation of this makes me feel like it should be a landscape card, so that's what I'll do. And then we're just going to stick down some of these papers however we want. So I guess that's the thing. I have 3 different sheets and I cut 4 chunks. So you're going to want to keep that in mind, you know, to kind of separate them out nicely. So again, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And I do like the look of more of this guy, but let's see. If I have more of candy cane, I probably have to put candy cane over here to keep it separate in a way that makes sense. I know these pieces look funky, that's why I kept it the way it is, because otherwise you might get mixed up like, wait, hold on. I like a lot of the red too, though. And then you can make how many cards, right, with all these backgrounds, the pieces you still have left. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm going to go for. And I can still make 2 more cards with these pieces, right? So don't just toss those, you can keep those. And I should use a glue that gives me some drying time. My goodness. Okay, while that emergency vehicle passed, I went ahead and grabbed just some tacky glue, whatever you have that gives you a little bit of drying time, because, you know, I want to put these guys down, and not too much because, of course, wet glues can be they can mess with your paper. I'm trying to put the smallest amount, and I don't know if I'm doing the best job of that. But that's why I cut this paper down so small, because you want to leave yourself, you know, those little openings and bits so that everything kind of fits nicely. Like, I feel like that's still a little too... There we go. And this can come right in here, giving myself some space. I'm looking at the edge of this to where this one goes, so we can place things in a way that fits back in and it looks even. Let's see here. Oop, oop, oop. Got a little too much clear gel over there. Okay. Let's see here and here and here. Maybe move that over a little bit more. Oh yeah, this is good. I'm glad I used like a tacky glue, because I definitely need some time to move this stuff around. I don't want to put too much of this stuff. I feel like I'm putting too much. You know, on this particular glue, you cut the hole yourself, and I cut it way too big, clearly. But that's all right. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Got a little minute to mess with it. I can still move it. Look at that, even that first one. Yeah, if I had used my Nuvo Deluxe, that would have been stuck down and been done. So give yourself a little, unless you really plan it out, then you know exactly when you pick it up, when you put it back down, that's exactly where you want it to be. But I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to leave that alone for a minute. I don't want it to start moving around or keep moving around. So I'm just going to leave it right here. I am going to put some weight on top. And in the meantime, I'll go through and pick out, you know, some ephemera, because I'll probably top it off today with something like that. And then we'll try out another card. Okay, so I left it for a few minutes there. And I just went through the ephemera pack. And let me see if this... I like the way the red, because I knew that red was at the top. And then just to break it up, a little something else. And, you know, things don't have to be flat. You can pop things up, but something like that. And then I'm thinking... Counting Down, Season of Wonder. I had seen this, and I thought that might be very cute. Okay, so Let me think, because I kind of want to pop this guy up. So, oh yeah, and then let me use some of the stuff that's in here, of course. So we can definitely do that. And so I'm just going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of this guy. Oh, these are really thick. Or maybe I just haven't used them in a while. I feel like these are much thicker than I remember. I will say this guy's larger, so what I'm going to do is just cut down the side of this. And just, again, like I said, I used the whole thing up. I probably could have keep cutting it. I don't know why I decided to tear it at the end, but I did. There you go. There's that guy. These aren't stickers. The ephemera doesn't have sticky back. So just going down here. There we go. This time cutting all the way through. And you know what? I'll put a piece up here and then a little bit somewhere else down here. Actually, right up here. Cute. I love the way that background came out. And again, I mean, you can do that for your 5x7s, you know, everything. It's going to look really, really awesome. And that is not glue. Of course, you have your liner tapes. You can definitely bring those guys out. I just wanted a little something back in here somewhere. I'm not going to stick that down quite yet. Let's put this little guy here. And then this guy. Actually, that looks really cute where it was. That's fine. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a moment. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. I'm probably going to finish this card up and have to come back and finish up because it sounds like my neighbor has somebody jackhammering out there, and I'm sure you can hear it. So if I can hear it, a lot of times people are like, oh, you don't really hear anything whenever I mention that, but that's the kind of sound that cuts through. I will say this is a really nice sticker. I mean, look at that sticky back. Love it. I'm going to put some dimensional over here because I need to keep it about the height of this and then just let this touch in here. I think that looks really cute. I mean, it can be lower, higher. I kind of like where it was, even though it's really in line with that, but I think it looks best that way for my particular card. So I'm just going to put that down right there. And there you go. So it's the same height. Maybe a little more this way. And then letting that stickiness touch on the other side. And then there is one, you know, sweet, simple card, really cute background, and then just your little topper bits, right? Very cute. So let me think of another idea with something, maybe a little twist, something a little different. Maybe we'll do a 5x7. Okay, guys, so in the meantime, my kids woke up, and when we're on summer break, I only work while they're sleeping, and we try to just hang out, obviously, the rest of the time. So in the meantime, I did do some a couple other cards, because like I said, these same pieces, I can make 2 more cards. So we have 3 cards, all from those same chops, and that's really fun. So that's what I did there. All right. So 5x7. So I generally make A2 size cards, slimline, things like that, 5x7 every once in a while. I like to do them for this, obviously, because we have the 5x7 card bases, but also you have a 6-inch paper pad. So how are you going to use that to make a 5x7 if you just want to do, you know, matte layering, things like that? I was thinking about doing a fun fold type card. I suppose I could still do that. Sorry, I'm just trying to think. Because there's some kind of fold, sometimes you go like this and then you kind of prop it up so it's like a easel kind of thing, which is kind of interesting. Maybe I'd go from the corner right down. Be very pointy and, you know, up. Since this is already scored, I can do a fold back here. We can do like a Z fold type thing. Should we do like a Z fold? I was going to make something quick because the video, you know, like I already spent a lot of time unboxing and things, but maybe. Okay, so let's take this. Either way, I'm going to score this at 2.5 inches, okay, on this front one. So 2.5, and that's exactly half of the 5 because it's 5x7, right? And I don't want to cut it. I'm just going to score it. And I might need that. Oh, I'm going to need that for sure again. Just going to score this back. So that makes like a fun fold already. So you can definitely put like a topper piece and you have this background. So that's a fun thing, right? You can do a Z fold where the little band comes across, you know. I haven't done one of those in a minute, but let's see if I wanted to. You could go here. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. So, sorry, I'm just going by the seat of my pants as always. I'm going to grab some white cardstock from the kit and see if it's about the same color white. Yeah, it's not too bad. Just because this is white, I'll do this band white also. So I need a strip that is, let's say we put it like here. And maybe 2 inches. Is that too thick? 2 inches. Okay, so I need it to be 2x10. Okay, 2x10. So I'll go on this 11-inch side and we'll do 2 inches by 10. That means I just need to cut 1 inch off the 11-inch side. By 10. And then we're going to score this. Oh, guys, there we go. Moment of, I don't know, zen here together. We got rid of that. Fine, if I got rid of that, I'll take this one off too. I know people have been asking me, they're like, what is going on with your trimmer? Nothing. I just left this little piece on here because that's how I am. But look how beautiful and pristine. And that's going to last all of, you know, a couple days. You'll see. Okay. So we have a piece. Oh, that's not what I want to keep. See how funny. I want to keep that because I'm thinking card base. I want to keep this little strip that is 2x10. And basically we're going to score it at 2.5 and at 5. So score at 2.5 and at 5. So essentially this piece should still be 5 inches, and then you're going to overlay it like this. So it just gives you some fun stuff. So this goes in and this goes out. And so when your recipient opens it, it's kind of cool like that. And now I'm going to have to come up with all kinds of things because I was not planning on doing a Z-fold. So let me think about what I want to do for matte layering in here, and I'll be right back. Okay, I grabbed some of the reds from the kit. I think that's really pretty to go from the lighter to the darker to the darkest one. And I think what I'll do is I'll matte layer here and here with the pink. It is going to complicate what I was thinking as far as showing you guys. All you have to do is like split your cardstock in a way, or your pattern paper in a way that you have something that covers the junction, you know, if you want to continue it or use a different pattern. This is not going to be easy for me to do that here, so I'll probably put some pattern paper down in here. But so each of these are 2.5, right? 2.5 by 7, 2.5 by 7. So to matte layer that with this beautiful pink, I'm going to go 2 3/8. Actually, what I'll do is go ahead, well, yeah. 2 3/8. I was gonna say, to save this piece I can cut it differently. Guys, I placed an order for these new what's it called, blades, and you know, it's not in yet, so I know I'm recording this way ahead of time, so maybe you've seen some more contemporary videos of mine, but this is still mid-June. This is what I'm doing, okay? So gotta get those new blades in. So 2 3/8 by 6 7/8. So 6 7/8. I'm going to cut 2 just like that. So I'll cut one more just like this. I'm going to get rid of those little burrs. Okay, so that's gonna help me cover up these guys here. And then another one for here, because I imagine I'm gonna go with the next shade of red for the inside here, and that one is going to be the same thing, but it's going to be 4 7/8 because it's going to cover the whole 5 by 7 background piece. So 4 7/8. You can leave it just white, but I do want to. 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. Okay, so I'm going to cut one more from that pretty pink for my other panel here, and I will be right back. Okay, so we have our pieces for matte layering that. I really want to maybe run this through the Cameo thing, you know, the 3D embossing folder, but I want to kind of stick to what's in the kit for you guys, so in case you don't pick up these extras, you can still see it. You can make a really fun card. So I'm not going to do it, but if I was going to, I would definitely run all these papers through that just to get some more texture and stuff. I'm debating if I'm going to put some pattern paper here. I should. So we can do that in just a moment. So we have that for those guys. And then this piece, again, is, you know, 2 inches, because that's the number I just chose out of the air. Do whatever you want, whatever size. So this is 2.5 by 2, 2.5 by 2, and then 5 by 2, right? So I'm going to take the darkest, and I suppose I can cut it by 2 inches this direction, but I'm not going to do 2 inches because I want matte layers. So I'm going to do 1 7/8. Right? And I'm going to cut the whole thing because essentially you can get all your pieces from here. So I always, whenever I get those little burrs, I just come in and kind of trim them off a little better. Just give them a little cutty cut. Okay, so 2.5 is what I'm trying to matte layer in here, right? 2 by 2.5. So I'm going to do 2 3/8. And then another 2 3/8. And I'll clean up those little burrs. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. 2 3/8. And then for this guy, I'm going to measure this size since this size is nice and perfect. This is the one that's going to be 2 by 5. I'm going to go 2 by 4 7/8. Well, it's not 2 anymore. It's 1 7/8, right? So let's talk about those numbers again. Again, this strip is 2 by 10. And then my matte layers in each of these little sections are going to be 1 7/8 by 2 3/8. And then the last one is 1 7/8 by 4 7/8. I like 8s. If you don't like 8s, you know, you can come up with other numbers that would work for you. But I just like that tight matte layer, especially when you're working with something small like this. If I go down 1/4, it's going to show so much white in the background. It's just not my preference. So while we have these things out, I'm still going to do some more matte layering, but we can go ahead and just glue these down. So I'm going to take this guy. And again, I just went with the, you know, the pink, the deeper red, and then the deepest red. Just to have some variation of color. I have no idea what I'm going to top this with, but everything coordinates, so I'm just going for it, you know. So that guy can go there. This guy's going to glue here, and this guy's going to glue here. And when you glue it, actually, let's look at that again. It's going to go this way, like this, like this, like this. Yeah, it's all going to be on the front. I just want to orient it the way that makes sense for you guys. So again, just cleaning up those bits, my goodness. So I'm going to glue these bits down. And this one here, right? No big deal. And then this guy in here, and then these 2 panels on either side here. Okay, guys, so this is what we have right now. Again, 5 by 7. Score at 2.5 and 5 because it was already card that way. And then our matte layers, whatever it is that you like to do, but you know, I did some tight matte layers. And then we have this strip again that's 10 by 2, scored at 5 and 7.5, or scored at 2.5 and 5. You know, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to glue that down like this. I do want to put some matte layer on here and then back here. So cute little strips there. I mean, again, I didn't really plan on what I'm doing or what I'm adding to this, so maybe we'll do this one because it's kind of something we can work off of. Oh, and this one on the other side, that'd be nice. Okay, we're going to matte layer these. So for the one that's going across, I think I'll use this, and then this one I'm going to use here, and So this area, for this matte layer, this next level, is what I prefer, and maybe that's your first matte layer, I don't know, sizing. I'm going to do 2 1/4 by 6 3/4. But this is 6-inch paper, so, oh, I forgot I took that off. It's jarring to see it so bright. Okay, so 2 1/4. And it's already by 6, right? Because the paper is 6 inches wide. But what I'm going to do is just give myself a little cut. You know, if this was here, and then that piece will help me cover this area up. I'm just trying to see, maybe I'll cut myself like 1.5 inches. So maybe 1.5 inches. I'm just using this other side to measure at 1.5. Okay? And we're going to extend that out so you're not even going to notice that it's not there because that band comes through. Okay? And then down here we need pieces that are, let me think, I already did the 1 matte layer. So each of these little sections is 2.5 by 2, right? 2 by 2.5. And then 5 by 2, and we already did our other matte layer. So I need it to be 1 3/4 deep. So I'll just do 1 3/4. And for the 2.5 side, I already did 1 matte layer, so that was 2 3/8. So now I'm going to do 2 1/4. I need 2 of those. And then, so again, it's just whatever matte layers you like, but if you want my numbers, you know, the second matte layer, the way I do it, again, would be 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. And then the other one, again, we're going to do 1 3/4. And it should be by 5, right? 5. And then we already did 1 matte layer for the 5. So the next matte layer would be 5 3/4. I'm sorry, 4 3/4. My goodness, 4 3/4. And then after that, you know, whatever ephemera and cute things we want to put in here, we will do that. So again, yeah, it goes like this, but it doesn't really matter. And if your paper had a pattern that you want to follow because you kept cutting it like the same, you know what I'm saying? Like for it to flow, then you would cut your pieces in a way that would look like it's just flowing from one to the next. That would look really cute. So I'm going to glue that down there, glue this one on here, and glue this one on here. Right? And then this guy, I'll also just go ahead and glue it down right now. I just want to show you what that looks like because we're going to have a gap, but nobody will know. So I'm just going to line this up at the very top like I would with the border that I want, right? And then I'll line this one up at the bottom, leaving that gap in the center that we're going to cover up with our little Z-fold anyway. So yeah, in my mind I was just like, what? You know, I want to show you something you can do that it doesn't have to be just straightforward, like just, you know, layering some papers and then popping ephemera on top. You can do some fun things even if you have pre-folded cards and all that, right? Okay, so I know that looks funky, but that'll be fine. So let me glue these down and I'll be right back. Okay, so if we can imagine this, it'll be glued here. You know, I just fold this with my fingers. If you really want to go in with, you know, your bone folder and really flatten those out, you can definitely do that, but it's going to be stuck down and it's going to be something like that. Okay, so I mean, if you want to layer in here, it's just that I know you can peek down in there and this paper isn't enough to, you're going to have that gap again, or something, some way you can accommodate it. Maybe you put another strip, but we already have a strip there, so that's why I'm not going to do anything there. Just leave that as an accent color wall there. And let's grab some of this. I mean, we have all kinds of things to play with. This, we have stickers. We have the puffy stickers. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff. Our wax seal. Oh, maybe a wax seal can make a debut here. So, getting this out. And just kind of see what it is that we want to do. So if it's closed up like that, you know, a lot of times I'll put something in here, but I don't mind showing that junction off. So, I mean, you can put it over here, whatever it is that you're planning on putting on here. This card is really special. I love that we have these guys. Oh my goodness, what if he was there? And then maybe a little something behind him, right? Because he can pop up on dimensionals or something. And we've got, this can be anywhere, you know, as far as the depth and all that. Okay, I like the way that looks. And then maybe wax seal, not going to make its debut here. I don't know, because I'm already filling this up with other things. But Sparkle and Shine, Merry Christmas is a big Merry Christmas. You know, I mean, it kind of covers quite a bit, but that looks really cute. I'll leave that here because that's a contender to me. Oh, we have this one with more red in it. Oh, maybe that's nice. Okay, so I actually really love the way that looks right now, so I'm trying to hold this down. Because what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue behind this and just leave it where it is. Hold that guy down. Okay. And then this guy's going to pop up. I just liked where it was, and that's fine. So another thing. So as we're opening this up, do you want something to kind of come out from behind this belly band or Z-fold band, whatever you want to call it, or just kind of leave it the way it is? I wouldn't mind something sneaking out from behind here. It can be, you know, more stuff on here. Let's see if that was there. And this is just kind of glued in here. I like the way it looks. I don't know. Let me poke around. So I'm just going to find some different things that maybe I can tuck here and there. Maybe more like this. Yeah, because then that will be something cute there. And, you know, your sentiment doesn't have to be there. It can be somewhere else. So maybe we put this one here. Ah. Something like that. So we see a little more of it. Okay, that'll be good. I think that's the only one I'm going to tuck behind. So when we glue this down, we definitely want glue on this bit here. Okay. I'm going to fold that. And again, find where I want that to be. Like right there. It's about 1 inch from the bottom, I would say. I'm going to hold that down for a little bit. And then you want glue here. So I can see where this is going to line up, but I'm going to put it on here just so I know I'm in the middle. So I'm just putting glue within this band area all the way to the edge. And then just close this guy up on that. And then we'll continue decorating, okay? I just wanted to wait a little second so I can, if I was going to tuck anything in there, I could do that. And I would do that. So there we go. And again, everything doesn't have to be on the very front. You can add all kinds of, I mean, this is really, really cool. Okay, I'm going to hold this down for a little bit, though, before we continue on. Okay, so this is our fun card. Again, you know, deck it out, put all the stuff, whatever it is that you like. I already put some dimensionals on the back of this guy just for my stash, but of course you can use the dimensionals that come in the kit. And then I pop that down. And he can, I mean, he looked really cute over here, right? But I chose to put him over here, just to have a little more dimension, a little fun. I love the season's greetings. I mean, all these things, you know, peace, joy. Look how cute that looks, right? I think I'm going to use this one. And a little dimensionals. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of that. And I will be right back. Okay, so I took my little thing. And again, you know, you can pop this on here. Also, there are some little burrs or pips sometimes on some of these. And to me, I don't know, I notice them. So maybe other people don't, but I do for sure. So I'm just going to trim those away. And I love the way that looks. Just right there, season's greetings. And I mean, that is a decked out card in my opinion, but if you want to keep going a little more, maybe you want to put some little decoration on here. That we have that beautiful gold paper, but I do have some more flowers. I think I'll save the wax seals for a card that has more like postage related things, like cute things like that. So I'm just going to pop this here. And I'm keeping it relatively flat. And then I chose a couple little more accents, you know, something like that. So maybe this guy goes here. And maybe this one gets popped up on a little bit of dimensional, just not to make the card too thick. But let me put that on there. Oh. And I'll be right back. Okay, just popping some dimensionals behind our little guy. Okay, dimensionals are on, and just to give him a little something like that. All right, guys. So let me clean up a little bit. We'll take a look at the 4 cards that we made today, and I'll be right back. And I will say, even these little cutoffs, they're not that little, but the rest of the paper, just keep them, because you never know when you need a little scrap of something. You can make little like dovetail tags that come down on a card, maybe a little strip that goes, whatever. So all those pieces that I have offcuts, I just tuck them kind of back in here. Obviously you can keep it in your box. Even a little piece like this, if you have the dies, maybe you need little berries or whatever, right? So I always just keep it all in the box until I'm all done. And if there's something that's totally spent, then I just, toss it at that point. But yeah, so we made those 3 cards again from that same background, just did them in different ways. And then something like this little fun kind of Z-fold card. And so, yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Again, new launches today. So many just cute things. I do have, I think, a little something from each collection, so I'll definitely follow up with you guys with more tutorials, more, involving this kit and all that kind of good stuff. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, images are coming up. The links will be down there for the US and the UK in the description box, and I will see you all at the next one. Bye now.